Hi, today we're going to do a volumetric analysis of vinegar. We're going to determine whether this vinegar sold in a store is actually 5% as claimed by mass. We're also going to measure the molarity of this vinegar solution. So, first step is this. We need to fill the burette with the titrant, sodium hydroxide solution. And the molarity of the sodium hydroxide solution has been standardized to 0.4936 molar. Now we have to be careful in doing this because we certainly don't want to spill the sodium hydroxide solution on ourselves. But the first step in this burette, with this burette, is to rinse out the burette itself with a little bit of the sodium hydroxide solution. And we want to do this at least twice, preferably 3 times. Now, question to you is, why do we want to do this? So now that we have rinsed it 3 times, we'll proceed to fill the burette completely. We will bring the level of the sodium hydroxide a little above the 0, the starting measurement. And then we will make sure that there are no air bubbles in the tip of the burette. And that's actually a question that I'd like to ask you. Why is it that we're so concerned about having no bubbles in the tip of the burette? Okay, we're done. We place the burette on the stand and we take the starting measurement. This is your starting reading. Okay, so now we're going to prepare the titrate, the vinegar. First thing we have to do is measure the mass of this Erlenmeyer flask. For the first titration, we need to weigh the flask. Well, the next step now is to prepare that which we will titrate. And in order to do that, we need to take exactly 25 mils of vinegar and transfer it into our Erlenmeyer flask. We're going to use a volumetric pipette, and we're going to remove 25 mils of vinegar. Now we know that we will have actually and accurately dispensed 25 mils of vinegar when we have brought up the volume of liquid up to the meniscus in this pipette. Excuse me. First thing you do after you take it out of the solution is to wipe the outside of the pipette, and then we need to bring the meniscus of the liquid to this mark. Now that we have done that, we're going to transfer the liquid to the Erlenmeyer flask. Okay, so now we're going to weigh the Erlenmeyer flask containing the vinegar solution, the 25 mils of vinegar. Next, we add the 3 drops of phenolphthalein, our indicator, that will turn pink once we have reached the end point of the titration. Now we have to position both the burette and the Erlenmeyer flask so that the stirrer is in the middle of the flask. and therefore we get an even stirring action. I will start by adding the liquid sort of quickly, keeping an eye on the liquid as the solution changes color, and increasing the speed of the rotation of the magnetic stir as I add more liquid. And with each drop, the color, the pink color, is staying just a little bit longer every time. As the pink color is staying longer and longer, and we know that we're close to the end point of the titration, and therefore to remove any vinegar that may have splashed on the sides of the flask, we use the wash bottle with distilled water and wash the sides of the flask. And we also wash the half drop that always hangs off the tip of the burette. And it looks to me like one more drop. So this is exactly the intensity of pink color that we're looking for. I know from this color that this titration was done correctly. So last act here is to take the final reading on the burette. And now I will take the final burette reading. Here is the initial reading of titration 3. And this is the reading, the final reading of titration 3. Now that we have obtained all this information, go to the instructions for the lab, do the necessary calculations, and produce a report.